or the shredding. But I'll switch it up. I've been back 2 weeks now. I'm starting to feel settled again. But it's not the same here though. The transport's different. So is the weather. So are the people. I'm going across town to get the second best coffee in the world. But where's the best? San Francisco. Castro Coffee in San Francisco. I must be one of the few people left in the world who still prints their digital photographs. I'd use an old film camera if it wasn't so expensive. I must be one of the few people left in the world who still prints their digital photographs. I'd use an old film camera if it wasn't so expensive. 2 years I spent there. I was only supposed to stay 5 days. I was making my way up the west coast of North America, from San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and then a lengthy bus journey up to Seattle. My final stop was going to be Canada, a few days in Vancouver, before a trip around the Rockies, before I caught my flight home. But I never caught that flight. I never made it out of San Francisco until recently. Why did I go? Well, I'm a photographer. My plan was to travel the world photographing people. I wanted to take the perfect portrait, find the perfect person with the perfect face in the perfect location at the perfect time, and then, snap. Snap, snap, snap. But I'm not going to find the perfect face here. I mean, not that people here aren't good looking like it. It's just that I found the perfect person already. You still look good to me, pal. It's alright, I don't need anything from you. But I suppose you want to know what they look like. How I met them. But I suppose you want to know what they look like. And how I met them. I'll have to tell you why I left Edinburgh in the first place. She didn't understand me, my mum. She didn't realize how much photography meant to me. It's my first love. I mean, photography being my first love. She didn't realize that you could capture a moment, hold a feeling forever and carry it with you like a vivid memory. She couldn't understand why anyone would go to art school. You're not going to get a job when you graduate. You're better off doing something with computers. They're all the rage these days. She was half right. I mean, I did get a job, but I didn't graduate. And the job was in a call center. So I dropped out of art school. I couldn't afford to live in Glasgow and study at the same time. Certainly couldn't afford to drink as much as I wanted to. My only option was to take a year out, move back home, save up some money, and then return to finish my studies. So I returned to mother. I stuck at the job. I was holding out for something to happen, which obviously didn't occur. I wasted a year of my life waiting. I spent the second year of my life waiting more. By that time, I had enough money to finish art school. The problem was, I didn't want to finish art school. Normally I don't destroy photographs, they're sacred, but I felt that strongly about it. I just wanted to drift and take photographs. My one obsession. Well, one of two obsessions. Coffee and the curiosity. See, I wanted to find someone to photograph, someone with that special look. I had to find them. So I checked my bank balance, and there was a burst of joy as I typed up my resignation letter and handed it to my boss. Nothing could stop me now. I was a bus without a brake. So I drifted. London, Hong Kong, San Francisco, no, not yet. Bangkok, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, then San Diego, Los Angeles, and then I made it to San Francisco. So there I was, photographing the people I met, the places I'd been to, but I still hadn't found the perfect person. And I'm still looking for the perfect place, but I was close. The problem with San Francisco is that it's so nice. Lots of people want to live there. They want to live there even if they don't have a roof above them. Therefore, there's a problem. Homelessness. But, that gave me a subject. But I wasn't going to find the face here either. I'd spend my days walking around the city. I would walk and walk and walk. I never caught the bus. What a trap. And keep up my energy, I drink coffee. Lots of it. I'd give them some change before I took their photograph. But sometimes they'd give me some advice. Well, there's this one guy. He was old and he thought himself as a bit of a wise man, a bit of a sage. But the advice he gave me was more like a pondering question. Do you know where to get the best coffee in the world? He asked me. He was pointing at my coffee cup. I wasn't holding out too much hope he'd be able to tell me. He was swaying from side to side like someone on a boat. Well, on a bus for that matter. Well, I'll tell you. You catch the tram to the Castro, and you go to Castro Coffee and get yourself a coffee. Tell them old Jerry sent you. Well, after an endorsement like that, who could turn them down? Maybe. I've been needing to go to the Castro. I've been there in San Francisco for a couple of days, and I haven't been to that district yet. I've heard lots about it. Now after that, how could I not? So, the trams in San Francisco are different than buses, as I'm sure you know. They run on time, get you where you need to go. They're wooden frames and a degree of authenticity and actually make you feel safe. I mean, if they've been around that long, they're not going to break down now, are they? So I got on, I sat down, I looked out the window, and I saw more homeless people. And bars and clubs. Well, people playing chess on the street. Theatres and strip clubs. And then rainbow flags. And tourists. Boring shops. Interesting shops. Selling vintage clothes and antiques. As the journey continued, more and more people got on. But I just closed my eyes and let the sun shine on my face. I was reminded of a time when I was younger. When I was a boy, I used to lie in the field behind my house. I would be on my back in the tall grass, and the sun would fall from the sky and shine on my face. I would lie there for hours and hours, until my mum would call me in for tea. Then I knew it was time to go home. I wanted to relive those memories right here, right now in San Francisco. I wanted the joyful abandon of youth, and I wanted to capture that in my photographs. I was so lost in the sunshine and the memories, I didn't realize someone had sat down next to me. But I had a job to do. Well, two jobs. Coffee, that goes without saying, and photographs. Now, San Francisco isn't like Edinburgh. People on public transport tend to talk to one another. So the guy next to me strikes up a conversation. Not from around here, are you, boy? No, I said. Well, let me give you some advice. Oh, great, more advice. I was thinking he was going to tell me the best coffee in San Francisco was actually on the other side of town. There are 3 rules in life. I started looking around. The bus was empty. Everyone else had gotten off. It was just me and this old priest. Well, me, this priest and the driver, of course. I started worrying he was going to give me some sort of religious lecture. I was feeling awkward. I mean, the bus was empty. He had a pick of the seats and he sat down next to me. The first rule in life is do what you want. Okay. Sounds all right to me. Do what you want. Seems okay. The second rule is get used to being lonely. No, wait a minute, I said, but he put up a hand. And the third rule is home is the most beautiful place in the world. I couldn't believe this guy. I mean, what a load of rubbish. First he tells me I'm going to be lonely. Then he's telling me the best place in the world is back home. What? With my mom who doesn't understand me? On that terrible job? The only good thing in my life was that park when I was a boy. Well, the off chance of sunshine. But I mean, look outside, there's no sunshine. But as I was looking outside, I saw him. The perfect face. I stood still. I mean, still as you can when you're on a tram. Blonde hair that waved in the gentle breeze. Soft, pale skin. Deep blue eyes, I think. But he was wearing skinny jeans and a Castro coffee shirt, and I knew that was the man I had to photograph. So I shook the old man's hand. He was right about one thing. Not the last 2 points, but the first one. I should do what I want. I should take that man's photograph. Where has he gone? No, he's not there. I need to get off. I need to get off the tram. Idiot. I mean, I let him get away. But then I realized the penny dropped. He was wearing a Castro coffee shirt. I could just meet him there. I could walk in nonchalantly, order a coffee, and politely ask him if I could take his photograph. Easy as that. That's what I did. His name was Mark. The photos we took were brilliant. And he was nice, Mark. He bought me a coffee. He told me he'd always wanted to be a model, and I gave him that chance. So I went back the next day, and the next, and the next. It was really good coffee. But I realized time was running out. I wanted to travel some more, not to leave. But I didn't want to leave. I had found the perfect face, not the perfect location. So my options were simple. Stay or leave. So I stayed. I got a job making coffee. I mean, I did that Mark's lunch. And after 2 fantastic years, we decided to travel. I did get to see Canada. Was it the perfect location? No. We were running out of money and we had to find where fast. A last remaining pennies brought us back here. Back home for me. But it's not all bad. Mark has a job serving the second best coffee in the world. And that coffee shop is close to my old house. It's just a 5-minute walk to that field. I'm going to meet Mark now. He's going to make me a coffee. Then we're going to take a 5-minute walk. And I am going to take the perfect portrait with the perfect face. The perfect location.
It was all right. I think the most surprising or challenging aspect is that people are clearly a little uncertain about who you are and what you're doing, and so they may not really engage with you, which is probably the scariest thing as a performer if you're trying to do something and seems like people are uninterested. But you could tell that they were actually kind of clocking into what was going on, and it kind of, knowing that they were there gave you just that little bit of push to like continue through it, which actually was really fun for me then, because that's one of the most challenging experiences I've had, and now I know I can get through that.